flow. I am never gonna be to anybody. All I would do in my life is to stick on my flow. Show me no me, show me no, you show me, you show me no, you show me no me, you show me no, you show me, you show me no, you show me no me, you show me no, you show me, you show me no, and you show me no me, you show me no, you show me, you show me no, and you show me no me, you show me no, you show me, you show me no, and you show me no me. I was born to reign, I was born to rule in this world without no exception. All I'm gonna do is to walk in a way.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. If you can hear me, please drop a reaction in the chat so I know that we can hear me. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and you're welcome to today's session of 360 CareerWise. Please drop in the chat an emoji to let me know if you can hear me. Thank you so much for being punctual and joining on time. Good morning. Okay, so I'll need a reaction if we can hear me, so I'll know if we can go on and continue today's program. Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. I'm audible. All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Fikemi Aderoju. I am your host for today's session, and you're welcome to today's episode. We are going to be talking about the hiring chessboard, that's salary negotiations, background checks, CVs, and much more. And I'm so glad to have you join us today. There's a lot coming in today. We're going to be learning so much. And I know these topics are topics that are very important for us to learn about. You know, every day we have to earn, we have to work, and I am very excited for all that's going to happen today. So we'd love to know where you're joining us from. If you're joining us from Lagos, just drop in the chats that you're Fikemi from Lagos, so we have a good interaction moving forward. On this note, I'm going to be giving you a brief overview of what 360 CareerWise is all about for those who have never heard about it before. So basically, 360 CareerWise is a dynamic monthly series designed to empower professionals with tools, strategies, and insights needed to thrive in today's evolving career landscape. Now, through captivating episodes like this, episode with industry leaders and experts, we offer a platform that delivers actionable insights to help individuals like you and myself navigate the challenges that come with capitalism. And it also helps you capitalize on opportunities and attain enduring career success. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. I know it's going to be beautiful. I know it's going to be amazing. And to start off strong, I want you to drop in the chats what you're looking forward to learning. You know, I really appreciate an engaging community, so we know that we're actually doing something impactful. So just drop in the chats if you can, what you're looking forward to learning, excitement. You can show emojis as well, just to make sure that we're on the right page, okay? So moving on swiftly rather, we're going to be having our first speaker, and he is going to be sharing with us about building confidence through background checks. So basically what candidates need to know about their potential employers, and basically the background check process, what employers are really looking for. And to give us this beautiful focus, we have Leke Oshiemi. He is Dr. Leke Oshiemi, the lead consultant and CEO of Recruit Consulting, which is one of Nigeria's premier human capital development companies. With over 2 decades of corporate experience, spanning leading organizations such as Heineken, Honeywell, Transcorp Group, etc. He's an accomplished business leader, globally certified HR practitioner, and award-winning management consultant. His extensive expertise covers diverse industries, including manufacturing, consulting, FMCG, financial services, etc. Leke Oshiemi holds a doctorate in human resource management from Prowess University, United States of Africa, and advanced certification from Cornell University. He is also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development and a chartered human resource consultant. His outstanding contributions to leadership and HR strategy have earned him accolades, including the Most Creative Trainer Award in 2024 by NITAD and the Career Influencer Award in 2020 by Workboth Magazine. He's an alumnus of the University of Lagos, Olabisi Onabanjo University, and Cornell. Leke Oshiemi is a certified global leader, an executive coach, and a management consultant. He's affiliated with several professional bodies, including the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, the Society for Human Resource Management, and the HR Certification Institute USA. Additionally, he holds a doctorate in transformational leadership and organizational management from the International Leadership, Manpower, and Management Development in the UK. And he is also a Platinum Fellow and professional spokesperson in the UK and Northern Ireland. Leke Oshiemi has led over 350 consulting projects across Nigeria and Africa, directly impacting over 400 SMEs and training more than 20,000 young managers and professionals. As Managing Director of Recruit Consulting, he has demonstrated exceptional expertise in human capital development, organizational transformation, and leadership training. He has spearheaded initiatives in HR transformation, talent management, and performance optimization for state and federal government agencies, as well as high-profile clients in Nigeria and beyond. Beyond corporate consulting, Leke Oshiemi serves as an advisory board member for organizations such as LDI Africa and Africa Effectiveness, where he focuses on empowering African professionals and enhancing public and private institutions. His vision is to nurture African governments and businesses by developing talent and systems to achieve global competitiveness by 2035. With an extensive skill set and business focus that includes management consulting, learning and development, manpower outsourcing, etc., Dr. Leke Oshiemi is a thought leader and sought-after speaker. He regularly shares his insights on various business topics, and his passion for transformative leadership and capacity building continues to shape the growth of businesses and communities across Africa. With no further ado, let's welcome with a sign of an applause, Dr. Leke Oshiemi, as he shares with us this first focus for today's session on building confidence through background checks and basically what employers are really looking for. Dr. Leke Oshiemi, we'll have you now, sir. You're welcome. Thank you. I can see the reactions, a round of applause for him. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here. My name is Leke Oshiemi. Some people call me Dr. Leke Oshiemi, and that's just fine. Thank you very much, Fikemi Aderoju, for that beautiful introduction and starting point. I have a little challenge with technology. I'm trying to put up my slides. Technology is fighting me today, but I will go on because I have a limited time. I want to encourage you. By the way, I've already shared my slide with the team, so that slide can be shared with everyone after my class. So I'll just jump right into it. I'll make it as brief as possible so that we can have some engagement. I would like us to talk. I'd like us to ask questions and have some deliberations as this progresses. Do I have the permission of the organizing committee for me to proceed? Or is it possible for anyone to project my slide?
Yes, I'm working on that now. It should be up.
All right. All right, so I'll comment with or without it. All right, so first off, let me say you guys are living at very, very precarious, very interesting times because what 360 Degree is putting together, I wish I had this in my days back in 1999, 2000 when I started my career in Nigeria. And we had very limited, mentors, or there was no YouTube, there was no Teams, there was no all the technology we have today. There was no ChatGPT in my day, so we had to use brute force to learn, to find our way, to learn, to grow, to develop our career. But you guys have the amazing opportunity, the privilege to have this kind of network that 360 Degree is providing today. So big kudos to the organizers, big kudos to you 360 Degree for putting together a program like this that empowers, that informs, that educates, and guides the next generation of the frontiers of our nation and Africa in general. All right, so what is background check? And that's this assignment I have this morning. What is background check? What is this about? In Nigeria, it's a dynamic employment landscape. And, based on what we've seen in our nation, background check becomes extremely important for employers of labor, for them to check, for them to know who they are dealing with, for them to know the background, the integrity, the suitability of the person they are hiring, because it's just like when you are getting married. And back in the olden days, and the days of my father, before you get married, your family will be checked. They will say, oh, I hope they don't have insanity in their family. I hope they don't have, I hope they are not criminals. All of these things have been with us, it's age old. All right, so background check process is where employers take their time to check, what exactly is the record of this person that we're hiring? Is he somebody who has emotional problem? Is he somebody that other people can work with? Is he somebody that has history of gangsterism? They want to check your driving record. They want to check your credit report. They want to check your criminal record. So that is, in a nutshell, a quick note on background check. So it's a process that verifies a person's identity and their past activities. What have you done? If you stole money from where you are coming from with your past employer, the likelihood is you might want to do the same when you join our organization. So they can check your criminal record, they can check your educational background, and I'll tell you a couple of stories. Back in Honeywell Flour Mills, I was seated at the interview table with the director of human resources, the director of finance, and the managing director. We were conducting interview for various positions. And there sat in front of us a gentleman who told us that he graduated from Lagos State University. And the interview was going on fantastically well until one of the directors on the interview table asked a question and said, young man, did you graduate from Lagos State University? The man said, yes, I graduated from Lagos State University, shaking his head and shaking his hand while he was talking. And the particular director pointed out and said, look, young man, this is not the logo of our university. The logo of our university is a candle and it's maybe a tractor or something. And to the shock of everybody, the guy started begging all of us. He said, okay, I'm so sorry. I need this job. I really need this job. I'm the breadwinner of our family. Apparently, he did not graduate from that university. But one of the directors...
Sorry to interrupt. Your video isn't on. It's just an observation. I don't know if it's an error from your end.
Okay, let me try.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, I'm not able to put in the background. Let me see if I'm showing now.
It's showing now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Can you see me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So the gentleman lied to us on that interview table, and that was picked by the director, one of the directors at the panel. And it was a shocking experience for all of us to say, look, sometimes we might hire people who say something and they are something else entirely. All right. So this is why background check is very important. We're checking your employment history. We're checking where you're coming from. We're checking who you say you are compared to who you really, really are. So why do employers conduct background checks? Number one, they want to verify the authenticity of what you have brought in front of us, your experience, your references, your qualifications. Oh, you said I was the leader of this. I was the director of that. I was able to transform that by 25%. I increased profitability by 48%. I brought in $10 billion to our organization. We need to fact check all of this because, again, a house built on a lie will eventually fall like a pack of cards. All right? So number two, we want to check your suitability for the job. Are you really capable? Are you really capable? Are you really fit for culture? Are you really fit into our organizational structure? Are you the type of person that can work with us? If we are looking for people who are, upward mobile, who are fast, who are sassy, who are smart, and you are not that person, but your CV says you are smart, we would like to check if you tick all those boxes, because organizations look for some type of people that want to work in the organization. They are checking certain things that are very, very important to them in terms of integrity, in terms of educational background, in terms of stamina, depending on the role you are hiring. There are roles you want to hire for, and you need the person that is in that role to be physically strong. There are roles you are hiring for, you need that person to be somebody who is extremely analytical and good with numbers. You need to be able to check all of these things so that you don't have what we call pure. Pure is P-U-R-E, previously unidentified recruitment errors. So number three, we want to ensure workplace safety. There are people who are psychopaths. You do not want to find yourself in an office where while the two of you are the only people remaining in the office, to hold you by the neck and choke you out. We need to check what kind of people we are hiring. Are they criminals? Are they people who are capable of putting other people in danger? If you are an arsonist, somebody who sets buildings on fire, I don't think you want to be hired in an office where they require no fire incidents. So we need to check criminal record. We want to ensure workplace safety. All right. So we want to protect the company's reputation, because as an employer of labor and somebody who has been an employee for a very long time myself, there are things that employees do that has ripple effect on the brand or the reputation of an organization. There are things you do in the corner of your room. Hey, I do this. I like to do this. Is my proclivity. I like to do this. I like to do that with myself. I like to drink this and I like to swallow that. That's your personal problem. But there's a way you can do those things or ingest those things and you can rubbish the brand of an organization. So in order to protect the brand of an organization, oh, I like to drink that, I like to do this, all of those things, we need to safeguard the organization's reputation by ensuring that the company's reputation in the industry is protected. Number five, we want to comply with regulatory standards. For example, in the banking sector, there are standards. In the educational sector, in the oil and gas sector, in the fast-moving consumer goods, FMCG sector, in the tech sector, there are compliance issues. There are regulatory standards that are being set that has to be abided by, that has to be complied with. And when we fail in all of these things, it comes back to inflict pain on the organization and the brand of the organization. Therefore, employers have to do background check to make sure that we have not hired a drug addict, to make sure that we have not hired somebody who is a pedophile, to make sure that we have not hired somebody who has horrible driving record or criminal record, that is an armed robber or is a thief or he has done unspeakable things, because some of those things are things that leave patterns. All right, there are people who do those things. I mean, there is a place for forgiveness, there's a place for redemption, but there are people who do those things who are irredeemable. Somebody who is a thief, who has stolen with 2 former employers. If that person joins the organization, the likelihood of stealing from you is very, very high. So we are checking what exactly are the things we check for, you might ask. When they are doing background check, what exactly are they looking for? Let me quickly give another story. Yesterday, on my way home from work, I received a text message. Dear Dr. Oshiemi, my name is Tina. I work with so organization. I want to ask about, I will be calling you anytime from now. I want to ask you about Tijani, a former staff of your organization, and we want to find out 1 or 2 things about her. I received that text message, and I was like, oh my God, this is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow with 360 Degree. And you know what is even funny to me? This person that they're asking me question about, or they want to interview me about, left my organization about 4 years ago. And this person has worked, I checked her profile on LinkedIn. This former staff of mine has worked with several other organizations after me. So the question now is, why are they coming to me to ask about Tijani that left my organization 4 years ago? So therefore, I say to everyone listening to me right now, under the sound of my voice, that you should be careful how you leave your former employer. It does not matter if that person is your employer of 10 years ago, your employer of 5 years ago, your employer is of 1 year ago, or your employer of 1 hour ago. Be careful how you leave your former employer, because it might come back to haunt you. I'll tell you another story as we go. So we are checking for educational qualification. You said you have first class in bioengineering. You said you have second 2-1 in accounting. You said you studied human resources in Obafemi Awolowo University. We need to know. And you might ask me, why are you checking? Why do you want to check my educational qualification? My dear, people have lied about their school. They've lied about their degree. They've lied about their credentials. And we need to fact check these things, because you know one thing somebody told me? There's a multinational company where people have been there for 30 years, 20 years, 25 years, 15 years. And the man called me and said, Recruit Consulting, I want you to do background check for our organization. The person made that call about a year ago. That person has left the organization. You know what the person told me? That background check will never see the light of the day. Do you know why? There are executive members in the organization who used Oluwole certificates to enter into the organization 25 years ago, 30 years ago, that if we should run background check in that multinational company, we will open can of worms. We will see people that entered with NCE who claim that they have master's degree. You will see people that had told us that they had PhD, that actually what they had was secondary school credentials. So therefore, to protect employers, educational qualifications are checked. Number 2, we are checking work experiences. You said you have worked with Guinness, you have worked with Nigerian Breweries, you have worked with Ocean and Oil Holdings, you have worked with Verod Capital. Is it the truth? Is it the whole truth and nothing but the truth? If we call Verod Capital today, if we called Ocean and Oil Holdings today, if we called Nigerian Breweries today, will they confirm that you have worked with that organization? That is number 1. Number 2, you told us that you are the executive vice chairman. You told us that you were a VP, you were an assistant manager, you were deputy manager, you were analyst, you were this, you were that. You know, I have seen, I don't know. I have seen CVs that when you study this CV and when you were reading it, you could not read it sitting down. You stood up. You stood up to read the CV. You said, wow, this must be our MD when this person comes in. Only for the person to resume. And the person is asking us questions like, I beg, teach me, how do I do this thing? I have seen people lie on their CVs. I've seen people give us, I don't know what they call it these days. They've given us Oluwole CVs. They've hired professional CV writer to write their CV. Oh, I improved this by my former employer. We made $2.5 billion. We sold this, we sold that. I increased profitability by 82%. All of it now wash. All of it now lie. People lie about achievements. People also lie about their reason for leaving roles. You impregnated 3 of your former employers and they sacked you. But when you came to us, you told us that it was politics. They ganged up against me. I heard of one recently. He was a director of operations. This man swallowed 400 million naira of company money. When he was caught, when they were doing audit, the man told everybody that, oh, it was a mistake. Please give me the company account. Let me transfer some of the money back. You stole company money. But when he's going for another employment, you know what he will tell them? Oh, they ganged up against me. They lied against me. Oh, it was because I was an Hausa man. It's because I'm an Igbo man. It's because I'm a Yoruba man. That's why they ganged up against me. So we need to check your character. We need to check your reasons for living. If you stole money there and you have repented, that is good for your church. But for our business, we will take you with a pinch of salt. All right? So let me just rush through. I knew 20 minutes was a short time for me, so I'll just go through. We check your references. We check your character, your work ethic, your reliability. We check your criminal record. All right, so shock. Ladies and gentlemen, we also check your online presence. For all those who are smoking ego and putting it on social media, HR is watching. We are looking at it. We're checking all your nakedness that you posted on social media, that you posted 5 years ago. And ladies and gentlemen, news flash, internet does not forget. Internet does not forget. All of those comments you made, anti-government comments, all those things, Obi must go, Tinubu must die, all those things you posted, HR is reading, we are watching. All those things you said, women should be flushed down the toilet, men should die, all of those things you were saying, HR is watching. Before we hire you, we go to your social media account, we check your political affiliation, those strong views that you have put out. It tells us a lot about who you are. It does not mean we hate what you support, but just be careful what you say. All right. So we're also going to check your health, your drug testing. We tell you that we are doing your medical test. What do you think we are looking for? We are looking for your strength, your capability. We are looking at your health status. There are some health situations that we can manage. I have worked in a multinational company. I have worked with people that have it with HIV. I've worked with people that have all kinds of diseases. But there are some things, depending on the position we want to hire you for, that we say, we cannot hire somebody who is dealing with this for this kind of role. All right? So I'll move on because of my time. By checking your licenses, your certifications, your employment gaps between 2005 and 2010. So all of a sudden, you became a general manager and there's nothing on your CV to show that you did anything between that time. We will check. All right, so what employers are looking for? We are looking for your suitability. We want to ensure workplace safety. We want to protect our company reputation because all those little things you are doing in your corner, it also affects our brand. All right, so how do we do this thing? So I'll give you company secrets. We engage professional agencies. They talk to recruit consulting. We will go to your university. Everybody that said, I went to Babcock, I went to Covenant University, I went to Obafemi Awolowo, I went to this and that. We will go and check. We will check. We have team members all over Nigeria. We will check all those things that you say you are to be sure that they are true. We will check your, you can also do direct verification. Sometimes you go to these universities. That is why, let me quickly drop this bomb before my time is over. I beg you in the name of everything you consider divine, my dearest sister, my dearest brother, my senior and my junior, please go and do your own personal background check. Go and collect your university record. Don't let university undersell you because there are some people, if you check their university record, what we find there will be discrepancies. Go and correct it before your employer finds out. All right, so common red flags. Fabricated qualifications or experience is a red flag. There is someone saying, I can't believe what my ears are hearing this morning. I had to go to my university. I went to the University of Lagos. I went to Olabisi Onabanjo University. I went to check my record. I beg, oh, what are you telling people about me? When I saw all the things that where I scored, because there are some record that you keep that you think you have the final record. Your certificate is not your final record, though. There are some record university has about you that is true or full of lies. So go and find it out and correct it before it affects your career. So common red flags, negative feedback from your references. There's a particular staff that I've worked with me. I'll cover his name. But this guy borrowed $500,000 from me. And 3 days after that, he resigned. I said, Ogbeni, you knew you were going to resign and you borrowed money from me. He said, Ogami, don't worry, I'm going to pay you back. Till today, this guy, Shola, has not paid me back. And guess what? The company that Shola joined, the HR director was my classmate in the university. I told Shola, if I want to end your career, it's just one WhatsApp message away. But you know what? Shola does not care. He kept on living his life, and I left him that way. He stole my 500,000 naira, and I'm reporting it to 360 degree now. Shola stole my 500,000 naira. But I decided not to war against him. I decided not to ruin his career. But if anybody should call me and write me a letter and say, Mr. Leke, your former staff, his name is Shola, can you vouch for him? My answer is no, I cannot vouch for Shola. Shola was going to resign from me. 3 days from resigning from me, he borrowed money. He told me his mother was dying. His house was on fire. His brother is this. His mother was that. Hey, God help me. I said, how can I hear this and let this man go like this? I borrowed him 500,000 naira. Shola resigned and stole. He thieved my 500,000. So how can I write something positive about a man like that? Your history of workplace misconduct will follow you wherever you go. Evidence of your criminal record and your illegal activities will follow you. Your unprofessional behavior on social media, repent now because tomorrow might be too late. As you are showing your breast, showing your private part, showing all of those things in the name of social media, HR is watching you. Be transparent. How can you be prepared for background check? Be transparent. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. If you have supported a project, say you support the project. Don't say I directed the project. Verify your own record, all right? Go and check your transcripts. Go to your university. Let your school write you a letter of recommendation. Go and join the old student association of your school. Be a member of it. Get a certificate for it. All of those things matter. So the day you become a governor, the day you become a president, they don't come for you to say you did not go to that school. All right? Professional, your presence online, your presence online should be guided. Be careful who you are endorsing on LinkedIn. Be careful who you are supporting on LinkedIn. Inform your references. You tell me, Mr. Leke, you are my reference. They call me and they say, Mr. Leke, do you know James? I say, I don't know James. So I don't know James from anywhere. If you are putting my name as your reference, tell me that you are putting my name so that I will not go and spoil your market in the marketplace. All right? Stay calm and be confident. In conclusion, in Nigeria, employers conduct background checks. So tell those who do not know that they should know that employers are checking. Understand what employers are looking for. You do your own background check of yourself. Search yourself on internet. Get somebody to say, I beg, help me to search my life on internet. How do I look? Do I look bad? All those bad things you should do, they will come after you. All those naked things you used to post, they will come after you. And I'm ending on this note. Shola, you stole my money. Anywhere you go, I will follow you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Leke Oshiemi, and it's been my pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Oshiemi. A round of applause for Dr. Oshiemi, please. I've been trying my best to learn and also not laugh too much at the same time. I really love your personality, sir. It was, apart from just being entertaining and engaging, I learned so much. And I'm sure everybody was able to pick a thing or two. And yes, please, I've been seeing the comments and the chats, and please take that energy to Instagram as well. If you follow us on Instagram, it's at my360don. So wherever you see Dr. Leke's picture on our Instagram, in the comment section, let us know what you learned from his session, so more people will get to know what's going on and come on board as well. And if you're watching us from YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and drop your comments as well. We'll be picking it up from there. So yes, I had an amazing time. And honestly, I'm going to take note and be more intentional about everything I post. I was intentional before, but now I'm going to be more intentional. So Dr. Leke I will not have the case like Shola, and they'll be announcing my name online. Thank you so much, Dr. Leke. We really appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. A round of applause for Dr. Leke again. A round of applause for him. Thank you very, very much, sir. All right, sir. We'll see you in the Q&A section. So drop your questions for Dr. Leke. I'm seeing some of the questions in the comments, the chat box. Those questions will be taken during the Q&A session. So just keep dropping your questions and we'll take them up from there. All right, so we're going to be moving on swiftly to the next session. So do not forget to share your thoughts on Instagram and also on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, please mute yourselves if you're not speaking. Mute yourselves. Okay, so yes, do not forget to share on LinkedIn as well. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what's going on, how things are going. We really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to be moving on swiftly to the next speaker, and it's going to be another amazing session. Now, this person we're going to be bringing on board is going to share with us insights on something very, 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 very special. So she's going to be sharing on behavioral and technical interview preparations. So you know when you're preparing for an interview and sometimes you have anxiety, there's certain things you're wondering, like how do I prepare? What do I need to know? How to anticipate certain questions, practice the toughest questions and all of that. We have the one and only media HR girl. Her name is Abiola Adisa, and she's going to be sharing with us all this and many more. So Abiola Adisa is a dynamic human resource professional with a passion for fostering strong workplace relationships, driving talent acquisition strategies, and enhancing employee engagement, growth, and development. Her career journey began in the financial services sector, where she worked as a customer service executive at Access Bank for 2 years. It was during this period that Abiola discovered her deep passion for advancing human relations in the workplace. This realization prompted her transition into the human capital industry, where she embarked on her HR career as a human resource assistant at Alexander Marius, a reputable consulting firm. At Alexander Marius, Abiola focused on recruitment, onboarding, talent management, and employee relations. Her dedication and exceptional performance quickly earned her a promotion to the role of human resource generalist, where she delivered impactful results for the firm's clients. Currently, Abiola serves as the HR manager at ARCA Payments, a leading fintech company in Lagos, Nigeria. In this role, she continues to demonstrate her expertise in creating value-driven HR strategies that align with the organizational goals. Beyond her professional life, Abiola is deeply committed to her faith and community. She's an ordained minister in the Redeemed Christian Church of God and serves as the assistant head of department for the Anchors Department of the PSF Nigeria. Her leadership roles within the church reflect her dedication to leveraging her gifts for service and impact. She holds a master's degree in international human resource management from Rome Business School and is an associate member, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. In her leisure time, Abiola enjoys exploring new places with a particular fondness for beaches and discovering diverse cuisines at new restaurants. Without further ado, please join me as I welcome the one, the only, the best in the HR game, giving us content back to back, Abiola Adisa. A round of applause for her, please, as she comes on.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Hope we're having a great day already. Thank you so much, Dr. Leke. I actually learned one or two things as well as you spoke. Okay, so 20 minutes is short, so I'll just go right into it. I need to be able to, okay, I can share my screen now.
Okay,
great. So we're talking about behavioral and technical interview preparation, how to anticipate and practice the toughest questions. And so this morning, I've just dimensioned the conversation. These are all the things that we're going to be talking about. But first, before I move on to the next slide, I would like to ask, right? You can just put your answer in the chat box. As of today in 2025, what do you think as a person on this call that recruiters are looking out for when they invite you for an interview? Very quickly, if you have an answer, just put it in the chat box. Let's, let's interact a bit before we go into the conversation. What do you think people are? Do you think they're looking out for people that are smart or people that are beautiful or light-skinned? Some people, that's actually what they're looking out for. Okay, someone says competency, someone says confidence. Okay. I'd like more answers very quickly. Competence, confidence, okay. What else do you think that they're looking for? What culture fit? Okay. That's how you know HR people. Culture fit alongside confidence. Okay, very quickly. Thank you very much. Thank you for the answer. Someone says transferable skills. Yeah. Technical know-how and sustainability to the raw skills. Okay. Now, according to research, right, in 2025, recruiters are likely to prioritize soft skills like adaptability, communication, problem solving, cultural fit, like someone mentioned, over just technical skills during interviews, with a strong emphasis on candidates who can demonstrate their ability to collaborate effectively, learn quickly, and navigate changing environment while aligning well with the company values and structure. So with this understanding, you already know what people are looking out for. And I think that this should form a foundation for our conversation today to say, this is what people are looking out for when you're on the other end of the table and you're sitting across an interviewer or recruiter, right? As the case may be, they are looking out for certain skills that you must possess in this age and time. Now, these things were probably not needed as of 2020 or even 10 years before. But now, in our world of today, there are certain skills that are non-negotiable that we are now looking out for before we hire you, right? So I want you to hold this to your left hand as we continue so that the next time you get invited for an interview, you already know at the back of your mind that this is what the person at the other end is expecting of me, right? Now, understanding behavioral interviews, what are they or what is it? And let me not assume. Let's start from the basic. What is an interview, right? I didn't put this on the slide because the assumption is everyone knows, but maybe there might just be one or two people that don't know what that means. An interview is a process, right, between a prospective employer and a prospective employee, candidates, as we call them, where they get to know each other. The interviewer asks a series of questions with a bid to understand the technical knowledge of the candidates and certain other skills that they possess, right? And there's also the opportunity where the interviewee, that's the candidate, also gets to ask questions from the interviewer to understand what the company does, and all those other details that they need even as they are trying to get a job with you. Now, so usually interviews are dimensioned into behavioral and technical interviews. So we come to understanding behavioral interviews. What are they? These interviews, the questions that are asked during this process, assess how you have handled situations in the past to predict how you perform in the future. So I like to say this for ladies or for men before you go into a relationship, before you start a relationship, or you just newly met someone, talking stage and all those things. What do? You try to get to know them, you try to understand who are you, that's where you start hearing things like what are your favorite color, what do you like, what's your favorite food, and all those things. What are you trying to do? You're trying to get to know them. You're trying to assess who they are as a person, their personality. That's the same way interviews work, especially for behavioral interviews. We are trying to assess how have you handled situations in the past? What is your response to certain situations that will be thrown at you in the workplace. And there's a common framework called the STAR framework that can help you structure your response. We'll get to that point. But then there's also a technique in which the job candidate has the opportunity to demonstrate, tell us, what's your potential for succeeding in this new role? What are you going to do? So this is happening to you. This happens to you. You're faced with this challenge. You're faced with this situation. What will be your response? So it's an opportunity for you to, display to us what is your potential for succeeding. How am I going to succeed in this new role that I acquired by providing specific examples of how you have handled similar situation based on your past experience. So how to navigate behavioral interview? Number one, anticipate it. And that is why, like Dr. Leke said, this that 360 careers put together is very helpful, because this is also a way of anticipation. We're trying to let you know, as the HR persons, as the recruiters, that we will ask you these questions. It will come. The way we frame it may be different from, you might hear it in different form, interview to interview, but anticipate it, right? The second thing is analyze the job description. And I think this is where so many people make mistakes. I know Nigeria is interesting. We want a better job, want to earn 1 million naira net, or want to start earning. We wrote it down as part of our goals for 2025. This year, I must start earning in 7 figures. And then into any job vacancy that you come across, bam, you're just pressing the apply button, apply button, apply button. But then you're not taking time to read through the job description. What would this job require me to do? When you analyze the job description, you can begin to identify the key competencies and responsibilities that you must possess. Thereby, you can begin to gauge what kind of questions will be asked. If you see certain job descriptions and then you'll be required to lead a team, you know that questions would revolve around leadership, right? You'll be asked, how have you led the team? Describe a time you led the team through a challenging project. How do you manage disputes within your team? How do you ascertain that your team is a high-performing team? Questions like that will begin to come. You can anticipate it. But if you've not analyzed the job description, you don't know what it says. You don't know what we are looking for in the candidate, then you don't know what to expect during the interview process. So analyzing a job description for any vacancy that you want to apply for is extremely important. And I think I should say at this point, I know that we're very ambitious, right? And then people still go ahead to apply for roles that they have no criteria on the JD or on the vacancy ad. They don't have anything. So the job vacancy says 10 years experience, master's degree in this, bachelor's degree in, maybe psychology or business administration. You have BSc in zoology. This is not to shade any form of qualification or anything, but at least, at the minimum, ensure that you are meeting at least 50% of the criteria that is stated on that job vacancy. That is what would even first guarantee. Yes, I know, I understand the place of ambitions, faith. We believe in, the divine powers, favor working in things working in our favor and all that. But they are just certain things that at the base level. So at the base level, you must ensure that at least 50% of the criteria, that's 5 out of 10. If there are 10 things listed, 5 out of 10. If there are 3 things listed, you're meeting 2 out of 3 to ensure that you're meeting the baseline for that job role. Number 3, research common questions. There are certain questions that look like they're very basic, like tell me about yourself. And people feel like, oh, you know what? It's not to tell you about myself. Oh, but research it. Find out how best to answer questions like this. I mean, and that's one of the things we'll probably mention as we go on, or maybe when we get to the Q&A, so we can talk about that. Look up industry specific behavioral questions. There are diverse examples on the internet. There are so many things that you got, but practice, which leads us to the 4 point that says practice behavioral answer. And for that, there is a method. If you look to the right of the screen, the STAR method and this is a framework that's been recommended as the best way to answer behavioral questions. S stands for situation. Explain the situation so that your interviewer understands the context of your example. So say, for example, I ask you, describe a time you had to resolve a conflict between, or you had to engage in stakeholder management. Now, the answer would look like this. The situation aspect of the answer would look like this. Oh, I remember a time where there was a dispute between the chief financial officer in my organization and the risk and compliance officer, and this was brought to my desk. That's you explaining the situation, right? So let us understand the context. So you're not just giving us vague examples or vague scenarios. Second thing is task. Next, talk about the task, the problem, or the challenge that you took responsibility for completing, or the goal of your effort. So highlight the task. Oh, because of this dispute, there was a disciplinary committee that had to be set up. That's the problem, or that's the challenge, or that's the task that you took. Now, I'm speaking this example I'm giving you because I'm HR, right? So that's why that's the example I'm using. It could be anything. Now, the third step in answering is action, which should take 60% of your answer, right? So situation should be 20. So dimension this within the time frame that you need to answer the question. So the action step should take a larger chunk of your answer. Describe the actions that you took. What did you do to complete the task? Highlight skills or character traits that you exhibited. If you exhibited leadership traits in the process of dealing with the situation, highlight it. If you exhibited problem-solving skills, highlight it. And the last R stands for result. What was the outcome of all of these things? Your action. What did he birth? What did he achieve? It is important here to highlight quantifiable results. How do we should be able to quantify what you were able to do. Now, back to how to navigate behavioral interviews. Tailor your examples. Pick examples from different areas of your life, right? Use diverse experience from work, from school. If you have volunteering experiences, if you have leadership experiences, sometimes your answer might not come directly from the workplace. It could be like an interpersonal relationship. So disputes let's stick to the example of disputes that I started from, right? Dispute usually happens across all sphere of life. It doesn't have to be workplace alone. It could be between your friends, in your friend circle. There was a dispute. How did you manage that? And when you're able to do this, you come across as a person who is adaptable, who is diverse in their thinking and not just one-way street. So it's also good that your examples come from diverse experiences in your life. Number 6, highlight results. Now remember that we said that behavioral interviews, the singular purpose is for us to be able to identify how you have performed previously in situations and circumstances. So that means that you must highlight to us results. What were the measurable outcomes? What did you do? Quantifiable results that we can measure, right? You don't necessarily, sometimes not everything might be tied to numbers, but there could be certain outcomes that are measurable. You saved cost, you saved time, you were able to retain a talent, or you were able to achieve targets. It spans across several things, not just numbers. And that's one thing that people do a lot these days. When you look through their CV, you just see numbers, 60% of this, 30% of this, 20%. It is fine. But then there are certain outcomes that may not necessarily, you may not be able to put numbers to everything. So don't put yourself under that pressure. But there are still some results that you can still highlight in your CV and then in interviews. Number 7, which is the last point here, is mock interviews. Practice with your friends, practice with mentor. Now we have AI tools. Practice with AI. I mean, AI will not get tired of you. If you ask it 100 questions to answer you, right? So get comfortable practicing. The more you practice, practice makes perfect. The better you become, the better you're able to structure your answers, the better you are able to even infuse certain things into your answers. I'll share that as we go on. So moving on, technical interviews. What is this? It's a type of interview specifically designed to assess your technical skills, knowledge-related questions to the role you're applying for, right? We want to find out, do you know the tools that you need to use on this job? If you're applying for a project management role, do you understand the basis of project management, project life cycle? That's where you hear questions like that. In technical interviews, it is down to the role, down to the job. How would you do the job? Now, for entry levels role, this is where you have assessment, tests, all those verbal reasoning tests, cognitive tests, and quantitative tests, all those things that test your technical abilities. For more experienced roles, questions here are tailored on the tools, the technology, the processes on the role, the trends, and all those things, right? Now, how do you navigate technical interview? Before I go on, if you are still in the chat box, could you just let me know that you're still here? Let me get an emoji, a thumbs up, or something, so I know that I'm not talking to myself and that we're actually gaining or learning something in the chat box. I need to see anything. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so quickly, how do you navigate TI? Just the same way as we mentioned for behavioral interview, anticipate it will come. I mean, what are you doing in an interview if you don't ask you if you know the job that you're doing, or if you know what you're doing? It will definitely come. The second thing is understand core concepts. You can't be coming for an interview on customer service and you don't understand the basis of customer service. What are the skills you need to have for customer service relations? You must review fundamental and industry standards, right? For me, my organization is in the financial technology, fintech. There are certain industry standards. You cannot be coming for an interview in my organization and I'm asking you about, so say for example, it's a cybersecurity role, and I'm asking you about PCI DSS, and you don't know what that means. It's an IT standard that we need to have every year to continue in business, and you don't know that. I mean, of course, I know that you don't know the job, you don't know what you're doing. You must understand core concepts that pertains to your role and that pertains to the industry, relevant to your field. You are in finance, right? Now, this leads me to the top point. Study recent trends. So you're going for a finance role or a finance interview, maybe at the top level, financial controller or accountant or finance intern, and you don't know the recent trends in the finance industry in Nigeria. You don't know that there's a new finance act that we're trying to, or that is being tried to sign into the Nigerian law, right? Or they want to pass a new finance law. You don't know what it entails. We are not saying know everything, but you must be up to date on innovations and challenges in your industry as it pertains to your role. Number 4, research the company. I cannot emphasize this enough. Research. Don't show up for an interview unprepared. That's even a no-no. It's a no-no in any way, in any sense of it, right? Investigate the product, their tools. Most organizations have a website now. Go to their website, check the details. What do they do? What's their niche? What's their forte? What are they interested in? Research the company. If you can't find their website, reach out to somebody on LinkedIn. Maybe they have an employee in the organization. Be polite. Oh, hi, good afternoon. We have a session with the hiring team in your organization. Could you just summarize what you guys do? I can't seem to find your website or any information and all those things, but do your due diligence, research the organization. Number 5, practice technical answers, simulate real problems. Look for real life problems that are pertaining to your role and answer questions like that. Think aloud. Practice explaining your thought process to demonstrate problem solving, even if you don't arrive at the correct answer. And let me tell you something here, maybe a cheat code, right, for everyone on this call. Sometimes half of the time, as interviewers who are sitting on the other end of the table, we're not expecting you to have the 100% correct answer. But then there are other certain things that we're looking out for. Your thought process. So you know that in a minute you are asked a question. The way your mind works would also the way you answer you structure your answer also allows us a glimpse into your thought process. How are you thinking? What would be your problem solving skill? How would that look like? Even if you don't arrive. So it's not necessarily saying the correct things or sounding correct, but there are other things. Remember, we said it from the beginning, the adaptability skills that we're looking out for, cultural fit, right? How do you determine cultural fit of a candidate? I mean, these are some of the things that we get to see that you are not even seeing. But as we're listening to you speak, we can begin to gauge how does this person fit into the culture of this organization. Then seek feedback. Ask peers or mentors to review your solutions, your approach. What have you said? How does it sound to you? And all that and all that. Now, I think this is almost the last slide. General tips. Remember that we're also saying how to anticipate and practice for tough questions. And I have a quote here that says, tough times are inevitable in life. Tough questions are inevitable in interviews when you're job hunting, right? But how you compose yourself during this time defines your spirit, which is what I just said now. Sometimes it's not necessarily the correct answer that we're looking to hear from you, but how composed are you? What's your thought process? How's your thinking like? And then preparation is about pattern recognition, structured practice. You need to practice. Now, as form of general tips, right, to practice or to anticipate toughest questions during the interview, the first one I have here, it is best to be over-prepared for a job interview than to be under-prepared. Be over-prepared, right? Be 100% confident that I'm ready to have this conversation with these interviewers on the other end, right? Second tip is, in the event you're unclear of the question that you are asked, you can ask for clarity. So say, for example, your interviewer says, as a finance controller, can you walk us through the process of designing a balance sheet? Or what would you look out for when you see a balance sheet? And you didn't get the question, you can say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand that question. Could you ask again? But then don't ask for the third time, because now if you ask for the third time, it looks like you're stalling. But if you're unclear the first time, you can ask for clarity the second time. Now, the third tip here is be confident and calm. Confidence is that outfit that looks good on anyone. You would come across, I mean, some of you have come across people that are confidently saying rubbish. Okay? You know they are saying rubbish, but then the confidence with which they're saying it, you are mesmerized. Like, you're confidently saying this rubbish, but confidence is there, right? The way we say it, steeze and composure, 100. So let your steeze and composure when you show up for an interview be 100. In fact, if it can be 1,000, let it be 1,000. Show up confident, show up prepared, right? And next tip, your first answer to the first question asked determines how the flow of the interview would look like. Your first answer, make sure you put your best foot forward. Be friendly, be humorous, relax. It's a two-way street. An interview process is a two-way street. I always say this, between you if you are checking the interviewer out, right? Or the company, like, okay, what do you people even have to offer me too, right? Enjoy it as much as possible, but then let there be a balance. Remain professional, but be confident and calm. And okay, I think that was the last tip. I wanted us to do a quick exercise, but we don't have the time for that. With that, this morning, I hope that I've been able to convince and not confuse you that an interview session can be as productive if you prepare yourself, if you take all of the steps that has been listed and you make do of it as you go for your next interview. I am rooting for you. Thank you for listening. This is my name, email address, and all of the other socials that we can connect on for further engagement. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Abiola. A round of applause for her, please. I just hope my HR is actually not here. I was about to say something, but I said, let me As a little respect myself, but these are, insightful things to take up in the future because we cannot remain somewhere forever. So
Wow.
just in case, for some reason, some people on here want to make some moves. Not saying me, but just some people out there. This tip will be very
Let me
helpful.
check the participation if I don't have any of my employees here too, so that
Ah,
they're also not making moves.
but thank you so much. That was really, really insightful because sometimes when people have to face the panel session, they forget that this company is also doing them a favor, right?
Yeah.
They come in as if they're only ready to just give, the company is just going to take. Meanwhile, you're the one with the brains and they need you as well. So you also have to walk the talk. But yeah, thank you so much, Abiola. We really, really, really appreciate that session. A round of applause again for Abiola. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please not forget, so on our Instagram page, we have posts with the different speakers. So you can just go in the comment section for the respective pages and basically share what your thoughts are on the sessions, what you are learning. There might or might not be a prize, a giveaway at the end. I didn't see anything. I wasn't asked to say anything and you didn't hear anything. But because I appreciate you guys for joining, I'm giving you small insights. I didn't directly say anything, but if you get it, you get it. So make sure that your engagement on our Instagram, on the comment section, on our post, under the speakers post, and on LinkedIn, they're up to par. And on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so we're going to move on again. And this conversation is one that I've really been looking forward to. This next topic, we're going to be talking about salary negotiations. I'm sure everybody's excited. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. If for some reason, let's say God is showing us mercy and favor, and you're allowed to pick whatever salary you want to earn, please drop in the chats how much you want to earn. God sees all. So don't restrict yourself. Let's hear it. Let's see the amount. Let's see the amount. Your HR might be here. I want to even help you. You don't know. Let's see the amount. Maybe I should start first. Want to know how much, if you are going to say now, let's see flow in pounds. Let's start with 100 million. Is it $100 million or 100 million naira or 100 million pounds? Like you have to be specific. $1,000 daily. Really? There's no restriction. It's in a gross or net as the spirit leads. Let me know. These figures it's like me, I hope I'm not the greedy one. I want to hear it. I want to see, like, for some reason, if by some chance, based on your current years of experience, so like the amount of years you've spent working, and God's favor and mercy upon your life, how much would you love to earn? Like, how much would you love to earn? 3 million nets per month. I see. Okay. 3 million, 20,000. I like Abiola. I like how you're starting. Exactly, Yanu, 50,000 million pounds. I think you should start carrying gun. Yanu, what do you think? Saying I share some relationship vibes with dollars, so 100 million USD is not bad. Okay, $100,000. Okay. From your lips to God's ears, someone might come back and share a testimony with us in the next session that they said any of this, who knows? 1.5, 300K per month. I know to get experience. You see, you're real with yourself. Imagine having no experience and asking for 100 million. Let's be real. 1.5. Okay, I like what I'm saying. So that just leads us to the next conversation. Next conversation is a sweet one, right? It's a very interesting one. And we're going to be having the next speaker, who is Hamilton Abe. His first focus is going to be on the art of salary negotiation. I like the way it's described as the art because you have to be very creative with it. The art of salary negotiation, strategies for professionals at every career stage. So every career stage you're at, what you need to know about salary negotiations, and also recruiter insights. He's going to be sharing about common mistakes candidates make during salary negotiation. So what error are you making that is the reason why you're earning this current salary? So briefly about Hamilton Abietoga Abe is a dynamic and results-driven professional with a solid educational foundation in accounting and finance from the Accra Institute of Technology, Ghana. His background equips him with the strong analytical skills and a keen eye for detail, which he seamlessly integrates with his passion for human capital development and strategic workforce optimization. With over 4 years of diverse professional experience spanning the banking sector, HR consulting, and the fintech industry, Hamilton has developed a deep understanding of organizational dynamics and innovative business solutions. Currently, as a talent acquisition specialist at Ren Money Microfinance Bank, he leads end-to-end recruitment processes, ensuring organizational objectives are met through strategic talent management. Previously, Hamilton excelled at Human Capital Partners, where he spearheaded executive search projects, successfully managing recruitment for leadership roles across industries. His achievements include delivering large-scale graduate training programs, aligning critical talents with strategic goals, and supporting organizational growth through tailored HR solutions. A chartered and licensed HR professional, Hamilton is an associate of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, the apex regulatory body for human resource management in Nigeria. This certification underscores his commitment to excellence and adherence to global best practice in HR. Hamilton's unique blend of financial acumen, industry experience, and HR expertise positions him as a valuable asset in driving organizational growth, fostering innovation, and enhancing performance across all levels of the workforce. When not immersed in work, Hamilton enjoys listening to good music, watching movies, and playing games. He treasures spending quality time with family and friends and is a firm believer in creating a healthy balance between professional and personal life. With a round of applause, let's welcome our very own experts in negotiations, and we're about to learn. So open your minds, open your hearts. If you've probably not been listening before, come back now. Maybe if you're washing something because it's the weekend or you're cooking a nice meal, I think you should pull your ears down to listen on how to negotiate your salary the best way you can. Hamilton, you can join us now. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Kim. Good morning, everyone.
Almost sorry, you know. I'm going to start your back class.
All right.
Hey guys, please, you can just stay.
Sorry?
This place is so fun.
Okay. It's all good?
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. What can we say? Please don't mind the introduction. I'm just a hustler with you. We are all hustling in this economy. I beg. But it's a pleasure to be here to just have like a quick chat with us regarding salary negotiation. So I would just want to find out from the people on call, for your current job, did you really negotiate the salary you're currently earning? I would just like to get like a feedback on the chat. If you had probably 50% negotiation, 20% negotiation, 10% negotiation, just drop. See? Please, I need more and more activities. If you negotiated your current salary, please just let me know. Now, wow, you know they negotiate for this country, you sure? All right, great. So I'll just share my screen so we see what we're going to talk about today. Sorry, just a minute. Great. I believe you can all see my screen.
Yes, it's coming up.
Okay. So let me just give us a backstory about how I came about this topic. So when I was little, after secondary school, I was sent so I'm from River State basically, and one of what we like eating is fish. I was sent to the market to buy croaker fish. Apparently, I had no idea what negotiation was all about. And for me, I have this empathy where if I see elderly people sell items, I try to so if they tell me this is 5,000, I tend not to price. I just tell them bring and I go. And I made that error. I went to the market. I was given 2,000 to get 5 fishes. I came back with 3. Or more, they're beating me. Guy, they're beating me. Basically because I had lost funds. I had come back with little item of what I was expected. And it also transitioned rather into my adult life where I prefer to go to the supermarket than going to the market. Why? Because supermarkets have like a fixed price where you just go in, you pick an item, you go to the cashier and you go off. But when I got into the whole human resources, I had to learn how to negotiate, which is basically what would have to be diving into now. The act of negotiation or salary negotiation is very, very interesting, but it's also a strenuous activity, if I'm being honest. And we Nigerians, we tend to like take it far, where, for instance, I spoke with someone who is currently earning 900K. And I asked him, okay, how much are you looking at expecting for this role? And then he tells me 1.8 million. I'm like, what did I throw? What did you catch? From where to where? How are we arriving at 1.8 million? And he tells me it's because he's expected to come to the office every time. That's on site, 5 times a day, a week rather. And the 900,000 extra is for transport. In this Lagos, 900,000 naira for transport in this Lagos. So that's what we do. We tend to make it an extreme when it comes to negotiation because we want to win. We're having this winning or winner mindset mentality. But the truth is, negotiation is about finding a solution that both benefits each party. So the employee and the employer. Just go with me through. So for this introduction or for our activity today, I'm going to take us through the brief introduction, key considerations during salary negotiation, how recruiters think as well, the strategies for different stages, so an entry level and also a senior level or a mid level, common mistakes we make when we go through these salary negotiations, and then just a quick chat if we have the time. All right. So everybody wants a higher salary, but not many people ask for it at the point of offer. Like I asked, how many of us really negotiated our salary when we got our current job? And the result is not most people or not everyone negotiated their salary. It's basically because we go with the mindset that the company is doing us a favor. Like Abiola mentioned, which is a wrong mindset to go in when you're going in a new company. First of all, they've seen value in you. That's why they've invited you for an interview process. That's why they're having that chat with you. People also don't negotiate because they are afraid of losing the offer. Now, there's a myth that we have in the system that when you negotiate your salary, or when you tend to like have that negotiation or that chat, they will take back the offer, which is actually not so. Every employer or every recruiter will
Sorry,
expect
excuse
that.
me, Hamilton. Please,
Okay?
can you make the slide full?
Apologies, please.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
All right, great. Thank you very much. So the myth is that everyone is scared of losing their offer. Probably when you negotiate, the recruiter takes back his or her offer, which is actually not so. Every recruiter will expect a push, not an extreme push, but a push when it comes to that offer. For instance, now you're earning 500,000 and you're probably looking at earning 600 or 700, as the case may be. If you're given a 500,000 net as a junior offer, you definitely have to push. You definitely have to say, you know what, this is what I'm currently earning, and I'm looking at earning such and such amount of money. But that's not the case in most cases, where people try to like either reject the offer or tend to like stick with that offer. Now, people also don't want to negotiate because they don't want to seem greedy. Greedy in the sense they don't want to say, you know what, when money has invited me for an interview, it's a very good opportunity. I don't want to miss the opportunity. So I don't want to ask for more. Let me just stick with what they are offering me. I don't want to seem greedy that I'm asking for probably 1.5 million or 1 million and so forth. Sorry, I'm speaking in million because I deal with millions here, you know what, rent money, million. But so that's basically the fair. And people are just too scared to negotiate. You've gone through the whole interview process. You've gone through the whole screening process, and you're at the point of offer, and you're just not ready to negotiate. You're just not ready to like have that salary. And now if you look at the Glassdoor survey, we've even improved, Seth. As at 2020, the figures were way, way lesser. This figure I put here is 2023, just so we are mindful. So it shows now that currently 46% negotiate their salaries, whilst 54% do not negotiate. It's still low, but I mean, we are getting to the point where people are now understanding that in the economy where we are, you need to negotiate to be where you want to be. So let's say, for instance, now, when I started my career, I was earning 50,000. And then when I got my second job in the bank, it moved from 200, so from 50 to 200, and I was very, very excited. I did not negotiate that amount. So I went with the perception that, you know what, every job that I want to have should also, you know what, let me give you 500K, let me give you 1 million, just like that, but that's not the case. There are cases where you have to really negotiate your salary. Now, what's it all about? Why should we negotiate? We negotiate basically because we want a better pay. Like I mentioned, in Nigeria now, you need more money to really compensate for your expenses. So let's say, for instance, now you're earning 150,000 in a city like Lagos. How do you survive when you know the cost of transportation is high, the cost of living is high, the cost of buying fuel is high, the cost of buying food is high? How do you survive? And then you're staying on the mainland and you're working on the island, let's say Lekki, or some people go as far as Aja. Some people are living at Ikorodu and their employment is at Aja. How do you manage that cost of living? So you negotiate basically because you want better pay, you want financial growth. Also looking at your age. So some people do this thing where they compare their age with also what they're earning. So for instance, now you're 30 years old and you're earning 20,000, you're earning 200K. Some people see that I'm not meant to be at this level at this point. So basically that's the idea. You also negotiate for career advancements, for better promotions. For instance, I'm currently earning 150,000 at my current place of employment, and I go and get a job that's willing to give me 250K. I come back to my current employer and say, you know what, I'm getting an offer for 250,000. Would you want to up or increase my offer to this, or I move to this company? So career advancement is also a reason why you should negotiate. Better leverage for other jobs, like I mentioned, better benefits. The more you earn, so some companies, the more you earn, the increment to your HMO, the increment to your benefits, your bonus, your incentives. So some companies do transport allowance and so forth. The more benefits you have, some people do car, some people do housing allowance, some people do driver, there's a lot. So better benefits, once you negotiate more, you get better benefits. Job satisfaction. If I do a survey on people on this call, you see that there's a lot of us that are not currently, satisfied with our current role. Not because we're not doing what we love, but because we are doing what we love. We are going far and beyond, but what we are currently earning doesn't compensate for the whole stress, for the whole time, for the whole investment we put into the company, and which should not be so. And that's why you get a lot of staff that are demotivated because of they're not earning as much as they want to earn. Trust me, they're not earning as much as they want to earn. Another reason why you need to negotiate, because of time, I'll just run through. Opportunity to demonstrate negotiation. Now, the truth about this, what people don't tell you is that the more you climb the ladder or the corporate ladder, the more your employers will want to see that negotiation skills. How are you able to interact with what's it called now? For instance, you have vendors you're meant to interact with. How are you able to drive cost or reduce costs? It's all about negotiation. How are you able to demonstrate that negotiation skill? That's why you need to start practicing it, even as an entry-level employee. Educational reimbursements, there are companies you negotiate that. So for instance, now you don't have a training plan, and then you before you come in, you tell them, you know what, I'm going to do this certificate. Once I do it, you have to reimburse me. There are good companies that also reimburse you even without your negotiation. You also negotiate remote work options. You also negotiate your flexible start date. Remote work options, thank God to COVID-19. I mean, that's the positive effect of COVID, where we had the opportunity of doing, or we're doing catch up in Nigeria, basically, where we now had the opportunity of remote work. We had the opportunity of hybrid, in as much as some companies are now going back to a full on-site role. But you negotiate your remote work. I have interviews where I sit in for interviews where people tell me that, you know what, I want to come into the office Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I want to come into the office Tuesdays and Thursdays for this. And they're not even bringing down how much they want to earn. They're just specific to what they want to earn, what days they're coming into the office. It's all about your values. What are you bringing into the company, and how you're able to negotiate those values vis-a-vis the terms and conditions. That's the whole idea of negotiation. Now, kind considerations during salary negotiations, and how do recruiters think? Now, I get a lot of feedback where people tell me, sorry, I just made a mistake. All right. I have a lot of feedback where people tell me, you know what, Hamilton, you guys, you recruiters, you HRs, you guys are shortchanging us. You guys are eating our money. You guys are doing this one. You guys are doing that one. There's a whole lot of backlash. My colleagues on call would attest to that. we get a whole lot of backlash when it comes to salary. And I understand. And I tell people before I'm first a human resource personnel, I'm also a candidate. In the sense, I was first a candidate before I was put into that position. So let me just let you know how recruiters think when it comes to salary, when it comes to negotiations, and when it comes to everything that relates to money. First of all, there is a salary band constraint in the company. If you look at very standard organizations, they have grade levels, and these grade levels have how much they earn. So let's say, for instance, now we're in the financial institution, and the first grade level will be a management trainee. And let's say the management trainee ends within 20,000 to 300K, or let's be specific now, they earn 250,000 naira. As an entry level or a management trainee, once you're coming into that grade level, that's what we are going to give you. Then if you come to like an ET, executive training, where there's like a band now, you have the 250 to 350. It depends on what you're earning. It depends on your level of experience as well. They'll give you either the higher band or the lower band. So there's always a salary band. For well-structured environment, there is always a salary band. So when we tell you this is the salary for this grade level, we are not shortchanging you. We are not trying to eat your money. We are not trying to reduce your inflow. We are not trying to reduce your cash flow. We're just letting you understand that this is the salary band for this grade level. However, there are instances where you're already at the higher scale of a salary band, and then we'll have to give you the next grade level higher than what you're currently on. So please, when a recruiter asks you, what's your grade level, or how much are you currently earning, we're not trying to use it to gauge whether, most times we're trying to use it to gauge whether we can afford you or not. We are not trying to shortchange you or trying to see, is this guy suitable or not? We're just trying to see whether you fit into our budget for that role. Another reason is there's an internal equity. So for instance, now, all of us were in the same team. We are currently earning 300,000 nets. And we want to bring in an external person for that the same grade level. And the person is asking for 500,000. How would you feel? When I bring in someone, how would you feel? I bring in someone on the same grade level with you, and the person is earning higher than you, and the person earns, or the person have the same level of experience, or let's say, for instance, you have 2 years of experience and the person have 1 year of experience. How would you feel? It begins to get, you begin to breed riots or distrust in the system. So that's the reason why we also try to make sure that everyone is on the same scale when it comes to grade level, when it comes to years of experience as well. There's a hiring budget. For every year, we have a budget for every role. We can't exceed the budget. So let me tell you, for instance, now, as a recruiter, one of my KPIs is to make sure that I reduce costs or I maintain the budget for the role or the hiring budget for the year. For instance, now you come in and you're looking for, or we've budgeted like an operations manager, 3 million. And that's the max, 3 million, and you want to earn 4 million. There's nothing I can do, or to a great extent, there's nothing I can do because I'm exceeding the budget. And let me just give you a caveat. We are still at the early part of the year, so we can't really start exceeding our budget. If it's in November when we are currently winding up, it's fine. It's fine. We can start making those exemptions. But at the beginning of the year, we have to like really stick to the budget. So balancing competitive pay with financial limitations is really a key priority for us. We can't exceed hiring budgets, especially for some level of roles. Now, there's also a market benchmark where financial institutions, we try to make sure that we are within the same scope that everyone is earning. So if you go online, you see research that shows what tier 1 banks are paying their staff, tier 2 banks are paying their staff, tier 3 banks are paying their staff. Also in the fintech space, we try to make sure that people with the same grade level, with the same departments are in the same level. So you can't come in and want to disrupt that situation. So it's very key that you also do like your market research to know what is the market benchmark, because that's what the recruiters are thinking. We can't exceed. And let me tell you something. The truth is, for instance, if you come in and you're asking for 500,000 nets and you leave the organization, the truth is, once the next person that's coming in, the person will ask for something higher. So the budget keeps shifting up. So we try to make sure that we maintain all these. Now, negotiation is expected. That's just the truth. it's reasonable that you always counter offer what we are giving you. It's part of the process. We don't we don't what's it called now? We don't expect that you accept what we offer you. We always expect that you always negotiate what we're offering you, always negotiate to the best of your ability. Now, it's also a win-win outcome. For recruiters, we see value in you. That's why we want to bring you into the system. And you've also seen value in us. That's why you're willing to join the company. So we expect that whatever we're offering you is something you're also interested in. And whatever you're interested in, or whatever you're interested in accepting, is also a win for us. Also, in most cases, the recruiter have no hand. And I'll give this advice for free. If you have the hiring manager's contacts, because it's the hiring manager that really knows what he or she wants, and he's the one that, or she's the one that can really make a case for you. So for instance, if I'm recruiting for an engineering manager and I can't really exceed the budget, if you've had contacts or communications with the hiring manager, who will be the CTO, it's expected that you can also have that negotiations with the CTO, where he's the one that can willingly push ahead of the budget. So it's really a win-win outcome for us. That's what we are looking at. A successful hire benefits both parties. It's not that we bring you into the system and in the next 6 months, you're looking for a higher pay. That's what we try to avoid when we do our hiring process. Now, like I mentioned, recruiters push for the best possible offer within limits. And I'll give you, for instance, I'll give you this example for an instance. So currently I'm trying to build the card business for my organization. And there's a candidate that the guy is extremely good. Like from the moment we had a conversation with him in the interview process, we knew that this guy was outstandingly smart. Like this guy was smart. However, when I had a conversation with him on currently what he's earning, was earning way below what we expected. What did I do? I pushed far above what he was earning. In fact, so he's currently earning $500,000, but I pushed more than $500,000 for him. And we gave him that offer and he accepted the offer. So in most cases, recruiters will push for the best possible offer within the limit or outside the limit, especially when they see exceptional talent or value in you. And one more thing, balancing quick hiring decisions with fair offer is what we look at for. So we really don't want back and forth when we're having the negotiation processes. We look for speed, we look for precision as well. All right, now, different negotiation stage. I want to really give us a paradigm shift when it comes to negotiations. For entry level, for us stage, what we don't know is that negotiations start from when you start having that interview process with the hiring manager or with the team. You're negotiating your worth, you're negotiating your value, you're negotiating your interest in the organization. Negotiation is not just streamlined to monetary value. It's also streamlined to your values. So for entry level, the concept people give them is that you don't have any experience, so you shouldn't negotiate. But that's not true. Like I mentioned previously, in a very structured environment, entry levels have like a determined salary that they give them or a salary scale that they bring them into the organization for. But what if you're in the organization or you apply for an organization that don't have that skill and you have certifications, you have experience, let's just say 1 year experience, or you have internship experiences that are really valuable to the organization, and they want to bring you on 100K. You have to negotiate because first of all, you have a professional certificate. Let's say, for instance, you are a chartered accountant or you're a chartered human resource personnel. Look at the cost of how much you use in paying for those professional certificates. Look at everything in scope. 100K will not suffice. So it's expected that you know your worth, first of all. Your worth in the sense, the value you're bringing into the organizations. You can also negotiate how flexible you can be or how open you are to the budget. So you can give them a range of what you're currently earning. Like I did a consulting job for a client where the client was willing to pay 250K thereabout for an accountant. And then the requirements were much. So I had to bring down my requirements, and then I had to have chat with these guys, be flexible and be open to receiving first of all, be open to hear what the hiring manager wants to say. The mistakes people make is that from the beginning of the conversation, they're only telling you that I want this to some amount of money. They're not being flexible. As an entry level, you need to be flexible enough to, or be open enough to listen to what the hiring manager is offering before you start countering offer. Also express joy, enthusiasm for the role. Most times, most entry levels, they're not passionate. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Some entry level guys, they're not passionate. That's passionate in the position they're applying for. If you have a chat with Abiola, she will tell you that one key requirement that she looks out for is also passion for the role. Passion for the role, passion for the organization. How do you fit into the system? How are you excited in joining the team? How are you excited in also what's it called now? Improving in the values or investing in the values of the organization. Recruiters want to see how valuable you are, how happy you are to join the organization. And like I mentioned, negotiation starts from when you begin to have that conversations with the hiring manager or the recruiter. It doesn't start at the offer stage. It starts from the beginning of the hiring process. Ask questions as much as you can. Use a range, like I mentioned. For instance, I'm willing to get 150 to 200 net for this role. I'm willing to get so amount for this role. Timing is also key. Know when you begin to speak about money and practice negotiation skills. Like Dr. Leke said, previously, they did not have as much resources as we have currently when it comes to interview skills, negotiation skills, communication skills, a lot of resources that would help us even advance in our careers. Try as much as possible to practice your negotiation skills. Practice your negotiation skills. Now, for the mid-level guys, people that are above, that have 3 years of experience and above, how do you negotiate your salary? How do you negotiate your interest in the role? How do you negotiate your value in the company? Leverage your experience. Always leverage your experience. Like I mentioned, we Nigerians, we are really, really hustlers. We tend to hustle for everything. And that's a very key thing for us because we try to have experience in so many things. Always leverage your experience. Always bring your experience to life when you're in an interview process or you're in a recruitment process. Know the market and your value. Know the market in the sense, always have an idea of what the market is offering. So for instance, I know what a recruiter would earn for my level. So I expect that you should also know what you should be earning or people in your market space or your industry space should be earning. I'm in the fintech space, so I have a very good idea what a recruiter should earn or a talent acquisition partner or specialist should earn. So the same should be for if you're in the financial space, if you're in FMCG, if you're in real estate, if you're in energy. Have a very good idea of what the market value is and also have an idea of what your value is. Be clear about your expectations. Most times we go into the whole recruitment process with vague expectations. And I'm going to get into that because that's also part of common mistakes we make when we have our negotiations. Always be clear about your expectation. Expectations in the sense of what you're going to earn, what grade level you expect to be brought into.
Yeah.
What position?
Hamas, I think we can take that during the Q&A. So maybe we just wrap up now so we can get into the Q&A session. Great. So we'll have more time.
Exactly, no problem. So know when to walk away. Request a clear career path. Always have a clear career path in the organization you're going into, and use current or previous offer as leverage. Just so we rush through this. So general negotiation strategies, we've mentioned that, but I also want to highlight on know your minimum acceptable net. So for instance, you're currently earning 500,000. Let your minimum acceptable net should be either slightly above the 500K or 500K, and maximum should be either 900 or 800. Don't go an extreme. All these, I'm sure the slides will be shared, but always have a minimum acceptable net you should offer. And in all stages, be calm and respectful. Now, common mistakes we make during the negotiation stage is that we tend to have the negotiations or the offers conversation ahead of time. It should not be so. We tend to bring these conversations ahead of time. We should not be so. Know when to walk away. Now, I have cases where people use what they're currently earning, or what, like, they have two offers to, like, relay me that, you know what, I have offers from KPMG, I have offer from PwC, I have offer from this, and they're offering me this, that. So I expect to offer this. It's not a competition. It should be a collaboration between the hiring manager or the recruiter and the candidate. Don't make decisions based on emotions, please. I really want to leave this organization, so anything they're offering me, I would accept. That's not the standard, please. And always, people go into these organizations without researching. So there are a lot of common mistakes people make. I would address that during the Q&A. But one thing I expect us to know is that always understand compensation elements. So I'll just briefly run through that. Know what the gross salary will be. Know what the net salary will be. Know what your tax due on payee. Know what your NHF would be. Know what your pension would be. There are different pension schemes, please. For us, we have different pension for senior people. We have different pension for junior people. There's what we call a sign-on bonus. So for senior people, if you're living where you are, or if we really want you to live where you are to come into an organization, we give you something that we call a sign-on bonus, which is one-off. Know what the sign-off bonus is. Know what your 13th month is for organizations that give 13th month. Leave allowance. Some leave allowance are embedded into your salary or your whole salary structure. Some leave allowance are taken outside your salary compensation. So always know this breakdown before you accept an offer. So you don't get into an organization and you're saying, I've gone for leave, they've not paid me leave allowance, or and there's no 13 months inside the salary, or on another they give bag of rice, on another they give this one. Please always have an idea of all this information before you accept an offer. Final words, please, before you're given an offer, the company have already seen value in you. Negotiation is key. There are various ways in which you can find out what the company is currently earning. You can have chats with recruiters online in the organization. You can have chats from recruiters outside or within the sector. You can use Glassdoor to check reviews on salary, reviews about the company. You can also use recruitment agencies to have information that you need. Brethren, please, before you accept an offer, have a thorough research about the company. Please don't go with the mindset that companies are making or giving you or doing you a favor to offer you what they're offering you. No, you have a value in which you're giving that organization, and that value, what you're going to compensate you with, is with what you're currently going to earn. So earn well so you can flex, you can have a good life. And thank you very much. So good luck on that next offer. Please negotiate, and connect with me if you need more advice. And I'm looking forward to speaking with each and every one of you in the QA section. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hamilton. Thank you very, very much. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has joined so far. We are about to wrap up. And as they usually say, the best has been saved, not as the last, but I mean, as the one that's coming up finally. Thanks so much for waiting, and thanks so much for your time. Next up, we're going to be having Pelumi Akinola, and he'll be sharing with us the power of CVs and resumes, basically about winning your dream application. So Pelumi Akinola, we'll be having you now. Thank you so much. And yeah, then we'll go straight to the Q&A section so we don't keep taking more of your time. Thank you so much for sitting still, and I hope you've been enjoying the session.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been an amazing webinar. Thank you so much, Dr. Leke. That was really, really exceptional. Thank you so much, Abiola. Thank you, Hamilton. All right, without much ado, I'll just go straight into my session. I believe after my session, we are going to have a very brief talk from Not HR. And yes, we'll also take questions and answers. So please make sure your questions are coming in. Okay, my screen is being shared. All right, so I'm not going to introduce myself. I believe that has been done already. Okay, So the first thing I want us to know today is that the two most important requirements for major success are first, being in the right place at the right time, and second, doing something about it. So it's not enough for you to hear all of these amazing speakers, share experiences, share their examples, make presentations. You have to do something about it. As hilarious as Dr. Leke's session was, there's a lot of insights in that session. And of course, even in this session as well, as we're going to be talking about CVs, resumes, please be ready to do something about it. Okay? All right. Now, many of us have heard about resumes, heard about CVs. Are they the same? Are they different? Many times we use them interchangeably, but they are not entirely the same. Our focus today is going to be on resume. Okay, resume from the French word has to do with a brief condensed document that you use to apply for jobs. Okay, CVs on the other hand is used mostly for career paths in the educational sector or careers that has to do with education, academia. Okay, but a strong resume highlights your unique accomplishments in past positions and demonstrate how your skills apply to the position that you are seeking for. So on your resume, you want to make sure that you highlight the places you've worked, your accomplishment, not just responsibility, not just that I was, carrying files from point A to point B. No, what did you achieve? We want to see it demonstrated on your CV. Now, there are certain do's and don'ts that you must take note when designing your CV or your resume. This applies to both CVs and resume, so you want to, pay careful attention to it. Now, the do's are on the left-hand side, the don'ts are on the left. So the things you have to do, number one, ensure that your contact information is captured in terms of email, in terms of phone number. This is very, very important. And make sure that your email address is professional. Don't use something like just too funny at gmail.com. No, that's not professional. All right. Or just the senior man. No. Use something professional. For instance, maybe something like Abiola Adisa at Gmail or at yahoomail.com. That's professional. It captures your name. Also, your professional summary should be captured. Your work experience should also be captured. But if you're an entry-level person, you're just starting out in your career, you can also capture your volunteering experiences, leadership experiences. Okay? Education is important. You can also spell out your class of degree in your education so that you don't give the hiring manager too much work trying to decipher what's your class of degree, whether it's a 2-1 or 2-2 or third class. Certifications and licenses, achievements and awards. If you want, for instance, Employee of the Year award for your company, you have to also capture it on your CV. It's an accomplishment. I mean, imagine in a workforce of over 500 staff, you came up top for that financial year as the Employee of the Year. That's an achievement. Relevant projects, professional development, languages in terms of software engineering, guys, right? If it's back-end, back-end, full stack engineering, front-end engineering, what are the programming languages you deal with? TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, and the likes. Volunteer experiences as well, and professional association. It's key. All right. If you're an associate of ICANN, you want to capture it. If you have your PMP, you want to capture it on your CV. Many times people have some of these things, but they fail to capture it on their CVs. All right. Now, quickly, we'll move on to the don'ts. Avoid spelling and grammatical mistakes. Irrelevant information should not be captured on your CV. And that's why many times people's CV are too wordy or too worded. Too many unrelated, irrelevant details. We don't want to know that you are the second born of your family. We don't want to know that you are the breadwinner. All of this does not have any impact on the job. Okay? We don't want to even see your local government. We're not interested in that. Now, avoid long paragraphs, cliches, and buzzwords, unprofessional email address, objective statements, right? Subjective statements, I mean, generic language, fancy fonts and formatting, incomplete or outdated information. All right, you can't just say second class degree. Is it lower? Is it second class upper? You want to make sure that the information you're putting there is complete. And of course, outdated information, if you've relocated, you've moved to a new apartment, your address will also change. So you also want to reflect it on your CV, before you make that next application. Negative language, exaggerations, and lies. You don't have to lie on your CV. You don't have to lie on your CV, right? Just state things the way they are. Like Dr. Leke said, we would eventually find out that you are lying if you did lie. Also avoid salary expectations on your CV. That's a different ballgame. Okay, you're not negotiating for salary on your resume or your CV. Put that out. Avoid personal pronouns. You can capture your responsibilities, your achievements without using personal pronouns. State it as a sentence, state it as an achievement, and you are good to go. All right, next, there are a lot of reasons why resumes and job applications are so intertwined. And statistics has proven over and over again that you must pay attention to the review and design of your resume. Why? Why do you have to pay attention? Because number one, recruiters spend 6 to 8 seconds reviewing a resume. We don't have all the time in the world to review applications. Imagine, for instance, KPMG graduate trainee program. They put out the advert since last year, I think August or September. Do you know how many thousands of applications would have come in? Do you think it's human being that's going to sit down and review them one by one? We don't have all the time in the world. Many times we use ATS, applicant tracking system, but when we don't, individuals will be responsible for it and we don't have all the time in the world. Only 3% of resumes will result in an interview. So you want to make sure that yours stands out among others. Now, alongside your CV or resume is what we call a cover letter. Some job applications request for you to submit a cover letter while some do not. But what's a cover letter? It's simply a one-page document that accompanies your resume or CV when you apply for a job. And of course, this can also give you the opportunity to tell us more about your professional journey, to introduce yourself to the hiring manager, give us more details, tell employers why you want to work with them, illustrate why you are the best match for the job, and so on and so forth. You can also use it to explain, employment gaps in your resume. What you probably don't know about recruiters and why you should pay attention to this when designing your CV. Number one, recruiters love numbers. Okay, we want to see you speaking to figures. How much did you make? You're a sales manager. How much did you make for this financial year? Okay, we want to see you speak to numbers. Give us in numbers. Recruiters appreciate orderliness. Okay, make sure that there's a chronological order to the design of your CV. Recruiters don't like stress. Okay, so make sure that your information is complete on your document. Recruiters have less time, they have much work. Recruiters are also employees and they are humans. Okay, they are employees, they don't have the final say many times. They don't, right? The board or the head of department or the management will still have to decide many times about the fate of applicants. So recruiters, hiring managers are still humans. And so please don't hate them. Don't fight them. All right, don't fight us. So how do you go ahead showcasing your UVP, unique value proposition, as an applicant? Number one, quickly, I'll just rush through this, demonstrate your competence, ensure you quantify your impact, highlight your achievements and awards, craft a compelling summary profile, ensure that you take note of the keywords from the job description, and these keywords are also captured on your resume or CV. Master the use of action verbs demonstrate cultural fit, and also customize content. Use a customized content per job. All right. Don't use one CV to apply for 20 jobs. Are they doing it from your family house? Don't do that. All right. Use one CV, you apply for data analyst role. Use one CV, you apply for accountant role. Use another CV to apply for project management. No. Let it be fit for use. All right. These are applicant tracking system that you can use on the web. Please, when the document is shared, please take note of it. On this website, on this document, you can upload your CV and it will do an analysis of your document, giving you areas of improvements to take note of. So when this document is shared, please make sure you use some of these AI packages to review your CV. Lastly, as a wrap up, know that every living person has a story to tell. And even those who have passed away leave behind a story. The beauty of being alive lies in the golden opportunity to tell our own story and be the main character in it. So you crafting and designing your CV is an opportunity for you to be the main character in the job application. Thank you so much. Over to you, Fikemi.
All right, thank you so much, Pelumi, for that detailed CV process. There's a part that you mentioned about how you can't use one CV for all job applications. Please help us help you. All right, help us help yourselves, because it's very important that you just take cognizance to these things. And yes, so we're going to be moving on now to the Q&A section. We've seen a couple of questions, so I'm just going to be inviting the speakers and just pinning them up here so we're all on here. So it's basically going to be like a virtual panel session where we just ask a few questions. So I'm going to be starting with the questions I got from the chat box. You can still drop your questions as I'm asking, and yes, we'll keep going from there. Okay, so there was a question that came in at the start, and it says, KPIs are not always clearly defined and measured in various jobs. Where do we draw the line when estimating these values on our CVs? So I think the person is basically saying that they don't want to just put so many things and bombard the CV, but then the KPIs are not always clearly identified. So how do they know what to put, what not to put exactly? So I believe this question was directed to Abiola.
Okay. So sorry, my background has become a little bit noisy, but I hope we can still hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So like I already said, analyzing the job description would enable you to know what and what to highlight in terms of KPIs, right? So as it pertains to the role, highlight things that pertains to the role that you're applying for. Pelumi mentioned it as well. Don't use the same CV because it might not apply for the other role you're using or you're applying for. So look at the JD, the job description will give you all the information that you need. Then you can ascertain what performance indicator should I highlight as I apply for this role. If it's a sales, if it has sales or employee retention in it, you know that you have to highlight that. How have you successfully retained employees? What number or quantifiable number can you put? So the JD has the answer. Look at the JD. What is the responsibility of, or what are the responsibilities? Then from there, you can determine what quantifiable performance indicators you can include for that application.
Okay. Thank you so much, Abiola, for that direct answer. I believe that answers your question for the person that I asked. So next, we're going to go to the next question. I believe this is directed to Dr. Leke. I would appreciate if your video can be on, please. Dr. Leke, are you still with us? And Hamilton.
Software engineering.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. We'll appreciate if your video can be on as well, if possible. So this question here by Obasharabuluatife says, please, sir, how can we find out those things the university writes about, if it is good or bad? I'm not sure I really understand this question. Buluatife, please, can you rephrase it? Please, can you rephrase your question? And then I'll move on quickly to another question. And
I think
that's
I have an idea of what the question
okay.
is about. All right. So the question is basically saying, how do I find out what is on my transcript? How do I find out what my university is going to write about me? I think the answer to that is very simple. Just go there and ask. Go there and find out. I mean, pretend like you have admission with some university abroad, all right, that is asking for that transcript, and then you will see what they have written about you. It's very simple. I did that for myself. I went to my alma mater and I requested for my transcript, and it was given to me. I paid. All right, so they gave it to me. So I saw everything they would tell anybody that is finding out about me, and I was pleased with what I found.
All right, so thank you so much for that. I believe that answers the question. So we have a question for Hamilton, and it basically, it's like a scenario, right? For example, let's say someone lives in Iyanopaja and they got an offer in Lekki, in Lagos, and it's an on-site job. How much do you suggest that they negotiate for salary as an internal auditor with like 5 years of experience?
Okay, thank you very much. So the first I would advise you to do is get the cost of your transport from Iyanopaja to Lekki. Factor that into what you're currently earning and make, what's the word now? So let's say for instance, your transport is, so for me, my transport to the office is 50,000 every month. And let me say I'm currently earning 450,000. So I merge that, I say 500K. But if I want to make negotiate now, I would say I'm looking at 600 to 800. I'm giving them a range now. 600 because I factored what I currently earn, the transport, and just an increment, just in case there's like what's the word now? Let me use the word miscellaneous, but just in case that there's an increase in transport or anything, factor that into and use it to negotiating, because you never can tell, seriously.
Yes.
But that would be my advice, yes.
Absolutely agree. You actually never can tell. And it's important that we don't shortchange ourselves. So there's a question here that says that at what point of the interview do you know when to insert your salary negotiation? That just came in from Blossom. At what point of the interview do you know when to negotiate your salary? Like, what's the right timing to come in?
Okay. So what I advise people is wait for the recruiter or the hiring manager to start that conversation. Never be the one to bring up the conversation. Never bring up the conversation. Wait for the hiring manager or the recruiter to start that conversation. So if he wants, or if he or she wants to start the conversation at the initial stage where they call you to like ask from like details or whatever, that's fine. But even when they have that conversation, don't give them the specific amount. Just give them like a range and let them know that I would like to, as much as I'm interested in going through the joining the company, I would want to go through the whole recruitment process before I would begin to have that negotiation. But make sure that they are the ones that bring up the discussions first, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So this question is for you, Abiola, actually. So it's a funny question, but why is it that some recruiters would request candidates to switch on their video during virtual interviews, and the recruiters or the panelists at the other end refuse to switch on their own videos? Is that the best practice, or like how do they navigate that situation?
Now I feel bad because I'm not turning on my own video, but I apologize for that.
That wasn't a shade. It wasn't a shade.
That's because I just got called and I needed to head out very quickly. So my apologies. But the standard practice is both videos should be turned on if it's a virtual interview, both on the interviewer's end and the candidates. So for me, my organization is a standard. I tell even the hiring managers that would join the HR team on the call, your video has to be turned on, because in my language, Yoruba, they say Ojulorowa. So it is eyes that the matter is. I don't know how to interpret that in English, but basically means that what we're saying, we need to be able to see each other's face. as we're communicating. So it's best practice, but it's wrong if it's just one person, if it's one-sided. So it has to be both parties. Let me see you. I also want you to see me. Do you understand? So the reason, I think I've answered. The reason is because communication is effective when you're also able to deduce body language. You're also able to deduce not only the verbal thing you're saying, even the non-verbal cues. How are you looking at the camera? Are you shy? We're able to tell you shy. Are you confident? Or are you uncomfortable by a question? We can get all that from your expression and your demeanor. I won't be able to see all that if your video is turned off. So that's why.
Okay, that's true. Thank you so much, Abiola. I believe that answers the question perfectly. So, Dr. Leke, this question actually is basically that if candidates have maybe some past employment gaps or issues in their records, how should they address it during their hiring process? So basically, there's a time gap between, like, in their record or basically in their CV, and they're trying to explain the gap, what it's about. Like, how do you think, or what do you think is the best way for them to navigate that?
All right. So I'll take a cue from what Pelumi already said. I think there's no point hiding behind one finger. HR will eventually know what's up. There's a story of a lady that I know that her husband took ill. And for about 5 years, she was the caregiver supporting the gentleman until the man passed on. So she has about 5 years gap on her CV. But then, guess what? She's currently working somewhere. In fact, she has jackpot from Nigeria and she's working abroad in her professional field. And what I can tell you is this: she was upfront about it. My husband took ill. I nursed him for 5 years. I was a caregiver. I managed hospital records and all of that. Do you know what? For our employer that hired her for that purpose.
Oh, wow.
To say, wow, you stood by the man. You nursed him for 5 years. You left your career. You know what? You are hired. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Were you in prison for 2 years, 3 years? Declare it, because we will eventually find out. All right? So there's no point put...
Would that work in Nigeria? You know, these employers, they're foreigners. What's in Nigeria? Would that also work?
What I'm telling you is, if there is a story, let us know the story. Don't go and invent an employment history. Oh, for that 5 years, I was with Nigerian Breeze. Are you kidding me? We will find out we're not with Nigerian Breeze. Nigerian Breeze is not a company you can hide under the table. Even if it is a Babatope Limited, we can find that place as long as, and then if we are looking for it, we can't find it online, we can't find the address offline, we'll come back to you after 1 month of working to say, Madam, where's Babatope Nigeria Limited? Oh, it's my uncle's auntie's company that existed on a PowerPoint. Are you kidding me? Your services from that moment onwards will not trust you anymore because you lied to us. So I tell people, be upfront. Oh, that period I was raising my children. That period there was a sickness in the family. That period, life happens. Don't think HR are not evil people. We are human beings like you. All right? So let us know what it is, then we will know if we can, okay, oh, so that's what happened. All right, then that's not a big deal. So what are you doing now? And I'm telling you, I've sat down at hundreds of interview tables. I've had all sorts. There is no point lying because you will be caught lying. And at that point, what you are trying to hide is now in the open.
It will be in the open. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you so much, Hamilton. Thank you so much, Abiola. For now, we'll stop the questions. So I'd like to introduce Busayo from the Notch HR. That's the representative from Notch HR, just for a few minutes to give us a run through of what they're about and what we can learn from them. Busayo, are you on here?
Thank you, Kemi. Thank you so much for introducing me. Thank you. A very big thanks to the host of 360, John. It has been an amazing and impactful session. I learned a lot from all the co-hosts. And my major take home was when Dr. Leke said, I need to get a background check of what my school is saying about me. I was like, wow. So I never knew that is very, very important.
Sorry, Busayo, your video is off. Can you please put it on?
Oh, okay. It's showing my video is on air, probably the internet. So my
Oh,
video is actually on, so it could be the internet.
okay.
So thank you for that. I would definitely take that home and I will definitely work towards it. So thank you, everyone. So my name is Abdulsaya Beatrice once again. I'm representative of Notch HR. And what we do at Notch HR, we are a software company. We've been able to create Notch HR, a software for human resource personnel that help them automate all their processes from start to finish, from onboarding to offboarding and everything in between, like performance management, talent management, grievance and discipline, leave management, and lots more. So I'll go ahead to share my screen so that you can have a brief of what Notch HR, have to offer. Although I have a limited time, but I'm going to rush my presentation. Please do well to bear with me if I seem to be wrapping at some point because I'm going to make it really fast. And should you have any question or concerns, do well to ask, in the comment section. And I believe there's going to be a link that will be shared with everyone. If you want a personalized demo, you can always fill in your information. Then we'll take it from there. All right, so this is Notch. Like I mentioned, Notch HR automates all aspects of HR processes, the full HRIS software. So for all our modules, we have over 22 modules at the moment. And of course, I'll be taking you through all the modules one after the other. The first one is the payment and the payroll module, which helps you to automate your payroll and payroll processes from calculation to disbursement, and of course, managing all your deductions and bonuses and all the remittances to ensure you stay compliant with Nigerian law in terms of statutory remittances like tax and pension. And of course, you get to disburse through a wallet system. And at the end of the day, automated pay slips is being sent to your employee and payroll reports is being made available for the management staff to make insight and informed decision regarding employees' remuneration. We have the attendance module where employee can clock in. You can use to track the attendance and punctuality of your employee. Employee can clock in through a station device or an employee mobile app whereby it is geotag and the employee location is being picked in real time, and HR personnel get to know where employees are, in real time. And of course, we have time tracker. Time tracker goes beyond tracking employees' attendance or punctuality. It goes as far as ensuring that they are being productive for every task being assigned to employee. They are being delivered effectively well. And of course, you can monitor what employees are doing in real time on their laptop for all the websites they are opening. It's very suitable for desk workers and remote workers, right? And you can decide to pay employee based on hours worked, based on how many tasks they were being able to achieve. Then we also have leave management. Leave management helps you to manage your leave processes such that your employee apply for leave through their employee mobile app and HR can vet it and approve accordingly. We have approval workflow to that effect too. So it can, depending on your company policy, you can decide to make sure your line manager approves your leave first before it goes to your line manager, and even your manager's manager can approve your leave depending on the workflow you put in place. We also have the custom report management because, the contemporary HR we have now, data is very key. And of course, you might need insight into data, depending on what you want at the particular point in time. You might probably want to know the diversity report. You want to know the performance of employee in past years. You can customize your data to suit what you need, and you can scoop that out to make informed and important decision. Then we also have third-party integration. You can integrate with third-party software like ERP, SAP, and lots more. Then we also have e-learning, which helps you to upskill your employee skill. You can upload your company document, company courses, and recommend it for your employee to learn. Your employee from their own end can also, take up courses to upskill. You can create a learning path for your employee, and your employees too can create a learning path for themselves. We have e-learning. This is like a training scheduler. It's very important because people take training, very important in this contemporary HR now. You can schedule training for your employees. Some even schedule training for a whole year. Some do it quarterly. So your training could be either off-site, on-site, or it could also be you inviting facilitator, as the case may be. You can monitor return on investment for training on the platform. You can store up all your facilitator and you can get their ratings and use it for reference in case of future purpose. Then we also have the recruitment mode, which helps you take your, helps you hire the top talents within the organization. You can create your job opening out there. You can publish it on our HR job board. So we have our job board. And aside from you posting on the job board, you can get a clickable link and post it on anywhere of your choice. And you take them through the recruitment processes. They are custom emails, like offer letter email template, invitation for interview and all of that on the platform that you can even customize it to suit your needs. Then we also have what we call talent pool. If you don't want to go through the stress of creating a job post out there, you can see from our database of CV by imputing all your ideal candidates need. I mean, all the competency skills you need and all the criteria you need in an ideal, candidate, put it on the system, save the CV, and you select the best one and call them for interview. Then we also have grievance and discipline management module. Also one of the HR issues is how to manage employee grievances and of course how to embed discipline within the organization. So that's where grievance and discipline management module comes in. So the way it's been done is you can upload all your policies, categorize them into grievance and disciplines. And of course, your employee can report any case of indiscipline or grievances through from their employee mobile app sent to the HR. HR can escalate it, set up panel member to look into it. And of course, you can create an hearing from the respondents. And of course, for the complainant, you can request for more evidence. It's like a flow. It's a flow of grievance and discipline management module. And of course, after a particular grievances or cases is being closed, you can even use it to create a new policy in case that particular policy is not available in your organization at the moment. Then we have chat and announcements. This helps you to engage your employee. Employee can chat individually and you can create a group page. And of course, for announcements, instead of sending email for every little thing, you can use the announcement feature to, disseminate information. Then we also have calendars and anniversary. You can manage all your important events within the organizations and also for your employees' birthday and their work anniversaries. The system helps you to automatically send an email to them. And aside from that, you can customize email to them. But it's in essence, it helps you, it gives you a reminder of all your employees' work anniversaries and birthday so that you can keep them engaged. Then we also have meetings. So just like we are having Zoom and Google Meet, you can have meetings on HR also. We have requisitions. Requisitions helps you to manage all admin related kind of requisition, from work tools requisition, consumables requisitions, and of course, cash requisitions and other requisitions like maybe recommendation from wallet and requisition for probably job recommendations, or probably you employee wants a visa recommendation or things like that. Employee can make any form of requisition on the platform. Then we have performance management. So for HR performance management, we have different style of performance management can be achieved on HR. You can decide to make it a goal setting kind of a performance appraisal, be it 360 degrees, balanced scorecard. You can even appraise your employee using a goal settings. And of course, we have 360-degree feedback, whereby you get feedback about a particular employee from their colleagues, and of course, probably from their manager and supervisor, as a case may be. Then we also have talent management. Talent management helps you to handle succession planning within the organization, whereby you identify critical role within your organization and you get a successor assigned to them, a mentor, identify the skills, competencies, and courses they must take before they can actually assume any role within the organization, any critical role within the organization, such that in case somebody in the critical role leaves, there is always somebody there to succeed them. And of course, for career tracking and career paths, you can create a career path for your employee, and you can also help them with career guidance to ensure that everybody is not just there doing anything. They all know their career path. They have a career guidance. They have something that is guiding them towards their career path. And of course, for talent review, it is in such a way that you can review your employee to know if you're working with the right talent. There's going to be a chart to that effect that helps you to know if your employee are performing, and of course, in terms of acceptability of their skills, their competencies, if it's something you can still push them, if people that you know that no matter what you try, those people cannot thrive in this organization. So it helps you to know the right talent, those ones that are performing, those ones that performance is still acceptable, those ones that you probably need to do a kind of training so that you can push them, from the level where they are also. Then we have the promotion management module. Promotion management module, the way it works is such that it helps you to manage promotion management from start to finish. You get to create your promotion policies, and of course, you get to, employee can request for promotion, their line manager can request them for, or can recommend them for promotion also. You can create workflow for promotion on HR. And of course, all the workflow you've created, any form of request or recommendation from promotion works through that workflow. And your employee too on their own side can track their promotion, how their promotion is progressing. Who is, their promotion approval lies on at the moment, who has approved, who is waiting, because most time employee always feel that it's their HR that is delaying their promotion, but it might not even be the HR. It could be that, okay, probably management are still sitting, they want to decide on, if this person is qualified. So your employee can track their promotion in real. All right, I'll be wrapping up very fast right now. We have confirmation management module, we have exit and off-body management on HR. We have net promoter score, where you want to know what your employer are saying about you. You want to know the loyalty of your employer also. Then aside from that, we open your employee to world of benefits, where they have access to software. So at this point, I think I've gotten to the end of HR. In case you want a personalized demo, like I said, there is a link that is provided. Do well to fill it. I'm going to take my time to walk you through HR. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Busayo. Thank you so much. So please check out Not HR in the comments before we wrap up in the chat. You can also drop your questions and she can attend to them as well. So we're just going to take one more question from Chidebere Woji. So the questions will be answered on the group. So the questions will be answered, on our social media page. So on Instagram, follow my 360 Dawn. On LinkedIn, my 360 Dawn as well, and the questions will be responded to there. So you can send a DM, your questions will be answered. If you need us to reach out to any of the speakers for specific answers, that will be done as well. So a question here from Chidebere says, okay, there are two questions, so we're just going to summarize it. So they'll be directed to Leke and Hamilton. So if in 1 minute we can answer the questions, it will be appreciated. So this first question says, if you have a budget, can the organization bend to get their preferred candidates because the candidates wouldn't have known what the budget is? Also, would you advise employers to communicate what they want to pay? So from the onset. So I think Leke can go first. That's Dr. Leke's question. And for Hamilton, it is, why does the hiring team request for pay slip? Is it necessary? So Dr. Leke.
All right, so thank you very much for that question. So this is what I would say. I believe in the principle of fairness. I have seen someone come before and say, I want 500K, and I've given the person 1.5 million because that is what is available on the roll. I will not cheat you. I will also protect the organization. All right, so in the spirit of negotiation, there is a band. I mean, Hamilton has already said there's a band. For middle managers, we pay between 1 million to 3 million. You can start with 1.5. As time goes on, you will grow and then end 2.5 and then end at 3 million. But then, in the spirit of negotiation, I think fairness helps a lot for human resources persons. But for me, I always tell some of my team members, why don't you start from the negotiation before we get, so that, I don't like wasting my time. And I'm a commercial recruiter. I recruit for organizations, and that's why HR will spend 5 months, 3 months, 2 months to hire for roles. I call you, good afternoon, my name is Dr. Leke Oshiemi, you are Paul. All right, so we have a role for you, and the role is 500,000 naira. Deal or no deal? I'm already on 5 million. Good night, God bless you, bye-bye. We go our separate ways. I like speed dating when it comes to recruitment, so that you don't waste my time. So we go on and on, tell me about yourself. Do you like fish? Do you like meat? Do you like pomo? Do you like plantain? And after 2 months, realize that, wow, this guy is on 3 million. The salary is 300,000. Where do we start from?
Yeah.
So I start from there. All right, so what are you currently on? I'm on 700K. All right, so this salary is 1.5. Is that okay for you? All right, let's go. I call my client, we meet, we find them, we start all the Let us get to know you. I think even marriages should happen that way.
Thank you,
very
Dr.
much.
Leke. Thank you, Dr. Leke. I think that answered it really well. Just being direct and being straightforward. So Hamilton, this question says, why do employers really request for pay slips? Is it necessary? What do you think about that in just a few minutes?
I
a
think
few
Dr.
seconds.
Leke has addressed most of that. But requesting for pay slip after the whole interview process, yes, it's just so we have. So for me, what I did just so I have a very good idea of what the benefits you're currently earning, and just so I can able to match up all those benefits, not just the net, but the whole components of the benefits, basically. So that's why we ask for pay slip. Yeah.
Okay. So just basically to know what you were on before and how to
exactly
help.
how to match up. Yeah.
All right. So we've got, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hamilton, for the questions. Thank you, Dr. Leke. Thank you, Abiola. Thank you, Pelumi, so much for your time. Thank you, Busayo. So we still have quite a number of questions, actually, and we cannot answer all of them because we will stay longer than we planned, and we've already even overshot the time, and we appreciate you for staying on till this point. So what we'll say is just follow us on Instagram at My360Dawn. The questions will be answered there by the team and you'll be updated on that. So just follow our Instagram page, follow us on LinkedIn as well. And at this point, I'm going to add, there's something special from the My360Dawn team. They've realized that a couple of people find it difficult to navigate, their CVs and some other things that they need to get jobs, and they need some form of assistance. But some people charge quite a large amount for that to be done. So a giveaway is going to happen, and basically the first 3 people to make a post on LinkedIn sharing about it, whether with screenshots or jottings, sharing about what they learned from today's conversation. I'm not saying you should make like a whole 4,000 word caption or whatever, but just a brief description of what you've learned. You can have screenshots or whatever you can add to make your giveaway easier for you. Basically, just share what you've learned so far. So the first 3 people will get a free CV review and design. Now we have the best of the best as the panelists, and we're going to help you get a free CV review and redesign. Maybe the CV you have is the reason why you're where you are today. We'll find out if you win. And also you get a mock interview prep session. So if you have an interview coming up and you just basically want a prep session, like the hints Abiola gave, like how to prepare, what to look out for, before the interview to help you make it easier, that will also be given to you. So the first 3 people, so if I were you, you'd already start typing your captions right now. So the important thing is you have to tag at My360Dawn on LinkedIn. So follow us on LinkedIn and make sure you tag us so we can see your giveaway requests, basically. On this note, I want to say thank you to every single person that joined us today. I had an amazing time moderating this session, and thank you so much for the panelists. I learned a lot, and I'm sure you learned a lot as well. Do not forget to follow us on social media. In March, we're going to be having another session. I don't know if you were here in January. If you were part of the January session, just drop a comment. I was here as a viewer. So if you were here in January, just let us know. January was amazing. This was February session talking about the hiring chessboard. So negotiations, CVs, background checks, and all that. Look forward to what's coming in March. March is going to be even more amazing, right? And we're grateful to the 360Dawn family for this beautiful initiative. This is something a lot of people have to pay a lot of money to get, and you're getting it for free. So all you need to do for us is follow the social media page, My360Dawn, subscribe on YouTube. That's very, very important, and just keep in touch with us on social media. So we hope to see you in March. I am really excited about what is going to come in March, and yeah, thank you so much to everyone for joining. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and we really truly hope that we see you in March, and this was really impactful. So we'd love to get the feedback. Send a DM to 360Dawn. It's really encouraging when you work on something and you get feedback that's been impactful. So send a message to 360Dawn on Instagram, My360Dawn, on LinkedIn as well. Let us hear how it's going. Let us know, what's happening. And yeah, on that note, Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. We hope to see you very, 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 very soon. Yes, take care and have a lovely time. Goodbye. My name is Fikemi. Before I forget, my name is Fikemi Adiroju. Yeah. Bye.
All I'll do is to walk in the stick of my foot. I am never gonna be with anybody. All I'll do in my life is to stick with my foot. Oh, show me, no, me, not me. Show me, no. Show me. Show me, no. Show me, no, not me. Show me, no. Show me. Show me, no. Show me, no, not me. Show me you, show me, show me you, show me you, show me you, show me, show me you, show me me, show me you, show me, show me you, show me you. In this world without no exception, all I'm gonna do is to walking away, away to destiny. I am never gonna be anybody. All I'll do in my life is to stick with my flow. I am never gonna be anybody. All I'll do in my life is to stick with my flow. Show me, don't be wrong me. Show me you, show me, show me you, show me you love me, show me you, show me, show me you, show me you love me, show me you, show me, show me you, show me you love me. Show me you, show me, show me you. Angel, umbrella, spoken to me in an audible way. Angel, umbrella, spoken to me in an audible way. You know it, one in my shell, the Lord will lead me true. When I call on him, he will surely answer me. So I say, I am never gonna be anybody. All I'll do in my life is to stick to my flow. Show me, don't know me. Show me you. Show me. Show me you. Show me, don't love me. Show me you. Show me. Show me you. Show me, don't love me. Show me you, show me, show me you, show me you, show me you, show me, show me you.